What is going on, y'all? It's your boy Switch Hands. You see the title, and it seemed like a perfect time to do this. Following the last Switch 1 Direct, Switch 2 on the horizon, Switch 2 Direct next week, we're going to count down the top 10 best games on Switch, in my opinion. Now, every game is not for me, so I probably didn't dive deep into every game like some of y'all should or did. So this is my top 10 games on Switch of all time with 5 honorable mentions. The 5 honorable mentions are in no order, but the top 10 is definitely in order. So let's get to it. Honorable mention number 15. Switch Sports, man. To me, like, if you grew up in the Wii era, it was a must-have. Wii Sports was amazing. Wii Sports Resort was amazing too. I wish you got a Switch Sports Resort, but Switch Sports definitely did the job. Adding basketball later, got golf, bowling, all of that good stuff. So honorable mention number 15 has to be Switch Sports. I think if you have a Switch, you have to have this title. Honorable mention number 14, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. If this wasn't like a re-release that was on the Wii U, other than Bowser's Fury, probably would have made the top 10 list. But look, guys, it's Super Mario. It's a 3D game. You can't go wrong with a Super Mario 3D game or a 2D game. They never miss. It's always a great game. But like I said, if it wasn't on Wii U, it was a Switch exclusive, it'd be number 1. So it's number 14. Number 13, honorable mention. I see a lot of lists that has this game high, but it's just not for me. I own it, I played it, it's just not my type of game. Metroid Prime Remastered, great game. I like it for what it is, but it's not my style to have to constantly backtrack and go into different worlds and come back and forth. That's not my style. I just want to keep going, but it's a great game for what it is. So honorable mention, Metroid Prime Remastered. Number 12, Stardew Valley, man. Stardew Valley, if it was a Switch exclusive, it would have been top 10. But because it's on other platforms, I chose to leave it off, put on honorable mentions. Put a lot of time into this. Me and my girl played a lot. She played way more than me, but for how deep, how rich the game is, relationships, farming, buying houses, buying horses, Stardew Valley, you can put a lot of time in and get lost in the sauce of Stardew Valley. So it had to come in at number 12. You have to have Stardew Valley on any top game list for any console. Number 11, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Again, if it wasn't a remaster, if it had not originally released on GameCube, it probably would have made the top 10. But guys, this is like the OG Paper Mario. This is where it all starts. Not the color splash, not the sticker star. Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is a masterpiece. If you haven't played it, pick it up, man. It's one of the best games on Switch with the revamped controls that make like quality of life easier. Number 11. Alright, man, starting the top 10 countdowns on best Switch games of all time, Super Mario Wonder. Like I said, 3D Mario, 2D Mario, they're not going to miss, but this Mario was unique. It wasn't just regular. A few years ago, they released with a 3DS that had the coin, but this Wonder, man, it includes the Wonder Seeds, which is, you never know what the game is going to throw at you with the Wonder Seeds, man. They got badges. Shout out to 2K. I feel like 2K started the badge wave, but Super Mario Wonder is easily one of the top games on Switch, whether you're playing by yourself, whether you're playing with your family, whether you're playing with your friends. Super Mario Wonder seems like a must pick up game for anybody who has a Nintendo Switch, especially this late in the life cycle. You can play that on Nintendo Switch too. So number 10, Super Mario Wonder. Number 9, Pokemon Sword. Pokemon Sword to me was a great game. I had no problem finishing. I thought the story was great. I thought the gameplay was great. And Sword is an OG. It included or introduced the wild area, which introduced the first Pokemon game to have a free flowing camera. And as little as that seems, anybody who's played Pokemon on the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP, DS, 3DS, you always wanted to look wherever you wanted to do, wherever you wanted to look. Pokemon Sword brought that to life along with a great story mode, great Pokemon battles, great evolutions. Pokemon Sword to me is number 9 on my list. I enjoyed it. I finished it. I beat it. It was easy. I loved it. I didn't play anything else while I was out. The online was great. I didn't have a problem with anything. So Pokemon Sword comes in at number 9. Number 9, Pokemon Arceus reinvents the wheel on what a Pokemon game is, and it looks like Z and A is following that transcript. Pokemon Arceus had a lot of fun with Arceus. The only problem I have with Pokemon games is that my guy does not talk, but the whole free-forming camera, no battles, it's about really catching them all. Pokemon Arceus, like I said, reinvented the wheel for Pokemon games, and I like the standard. I know they try to go the Scarlet and Violet route. I was not a fan of that game. That game is definitely not on my list. But Pokemon Arceus, man, if you haven't picked it up, definitely picked it up as a Pokemon fan to see what kind of unique changes that they've made from traditional Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet to Arceus. The whole game is freeform camera. You're not being restricted. You can kind of go where you want. You got this Pokemon where they kind of branched off with Zelda, where you can fly and climb. So, number 8, Pokemon Arceus. Number 7, easily and one of my favorite gaming franchises of all time, Splatoon 3. Splatoon 3 takes everything from Splatoon 1 on the Wii U, Splatoon 2 on the Switch, and adds just little quality of life features for Splatoon 3 to make it a masterpiece. Now, I didn't play Splatoon 3 as much as I played Splatoon 2 or 1 because the nostalgia wasn't there. But from a game standpoint, for what it did, the lobby, the matchmaking, the playing with your friends, everything was kind of easier. The gameplay that had new guns, new type of rollers, new type of paintbrushes. Splatoon 3, if you're a competitive shooter, please don't be fooled by the kid look or the paintball look. Splatoon 3 is a masterpiece of a game for a shooter with tremendous strategy, tremendous hand-eye coordination. So Splatoon 3 comes in easily at number 7. It probably could have been higher, but I'm going to put it at 7 for now. Number 6, Animal Crossing's New Horizons. 2020, the pandemic hit, and it dropped at the perfect time. You're sitting at home on your couch, you're not leaving, you're not doing anything, and here comes Animal Crossing Horizons to put you out of your boredom, man. This game was great, how you could link up with your friends, build your island up, and it went day by day. You couldn't just fly through the game. You had to take your time. It went day by day. So a new day, something else was there to do, and your tasks were done. So Animal Crossing New Horizons, this is my first Animal Crossing game. I loved it. I put a lot of time in it, like I said. So COVID hit. This is what I was doing, man, playing with my friends. And people who didn't even know what Animal Crossing was or didn't even have the idea of playing this, they played it and they loved it. How do I know that? Because I'm one of those guys. All right, Animal Crossing New Horizons at 6. Coming in at 5, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and everyone was there and everyone is still here. If you can imagine a character to fight with, most likely they're on Super Smash Bros. It's hard to imagine characters, normal characters and big name characters that aren't on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's a great fighting game, great competitive game. It's the best Smash Bros. Entry ever to me. That's a lot of games on Switch now that I'm saying this out loud. Best Smash Bros. Game entry. Can't say enough about Smash Bros. Ultimate. It never gets old. It's a great party game. Fight with who you want. They got new characters. They got the DLC. The fighting mechanics are always great. The technique is always great once you learn how to evade, edge grab, and all that stuff, man. So Super Smash Bros. Ultimate comes in as number 5. Number 4, it could have been number 1, depending on who you talk to and what type of gamer you are. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and honestly, I feel like I don't need to say anything about this game. It's the best-selling game on Switch. It has a plethora of courses to race from. There is never a course where you're like, dang, there's never a moment where you're like, dang, we need more courses. You can get the boosters class. There are still courses where I fire up and race online with, like, yo, do I own this course? It's the greatest Mario Kart game of all time. Right? It should be, because it's been running since 2013 on the Wii U, which Nintendo has tried to just eliminate from history. But Mario Kart 8 it's hard to believe that when the Switch 2 drops and the new Mario Kart, which I think is Mario Kart 9, is going to be better than Mario Kart 8. Super Mario Odyssey, again, it has to be at least the second best 3D Mario game of all time, behind Super Mario 64. I personally put it above Super Mario 64. It's again, it reinvents the wheel on what Mario games can do. Like, he has Cappy and he's throwing his hat at stuff where you can turn to anything, and just opens up a world of exploration where you run through the world and try to just throw your hat at stuff. And as stupid as that may sound, it's pretty fun. If you haven't tried it, again, Nintendo released a lot of games that look kind of childish until you play it. And you have to give these games a chance, because Nintendo seems to be evolving, and Mario Odyssey was a great step in the right direction. That was 2017, so we have to have one coming soon. Super Mario Odyssey at number 3. If you haven't figured it out by now, my last 2. Breath of the Wild is number 2 on the list, and this is probably the greatest game of all time, because of the nostalgia, because of the feeling you got when you ran out that tunnel and they panned to the world and you were set off, when you got your glider and you were really set off out of the tutorial, and anything possible you think will work pretty much does. Breath of the Wild reinvented the series again, and some people aren't a fan of it, but I don't want to see it go back to the traditional story mode where you have to follow a path. I love the open world. I love how you can do whatever you want. You can glide, you can find this, but if you can see it, you can get to it. Breath of the Wild is definitely, to me, top 5 greatest games of all time. Coming in at number 1, Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom took everything that I said for Breath of the Wild and built on it. Anything that you want to build, you can build. If you want to fly, you can fly. It took everything that was beyond imagination in Breath of the Wild, and Nintendo gave you the ability to do that, on top of just the open world format. And then even when the game was coming out, they hid the depths. You got, I forgot the upper area's name. You got the depths, you got the regular area, you got the upper area. The game is huge. There's never enough exploration to really go around, to really, play through the game. I know I have like 150 plus hours, and there's still places where I go around and I haven't explored. There's still quests that I haven't finished. I know for Breath of the Wild, I only finished like 25%. I played that game for 200 hours. The abilities and the possibilities on this game is endless, and you will really get lost in the sauce with Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. If there's any Switch owners who's picking up a Switch 1 or a Switch 2 who hasn't played Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, they're easily, to me, the best games on Switch available, and you should definitely pick one up. If you have not and you're picking up a Switch 2, this should be a title you pick up. Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, to me, are simply in the top 5, and I put Tears of the Kingdom at number 3 and Breath of the Wild right behind it at number 4, greatest games of all time.